Well, leaving on a jet plane, maybe, to write that Peter, Paul, and Mary song, despite all those back-to-school sales, it is still summer travel season. Yes, please. According to NerdWallet, 45% of Americans plan to take a summer vacation that requires them to fly or pay for a place to stay. Of course, we all know this. It can be kind of expensive, a little pricey, but that does not have to ruin the fun. Who says that? Kris Van Cleave does. He's here to tell us about some of the rule changes that could impact your travel. Lucky us, KVC is what he's known in the building. Two Kris Van Cleaves for the price of one. So what are some of the biggest rule changes that you're following?
Well, yeah, I think the one people may have not realized has changed is when you go to book your ticket, you'll notice in the fine print there, as you're clicking through, it'll say you've got 24 hours to change your mind and get a full refund. But 24 hours doesn't necessarily mean 24 hours anymore. It used to be 24 hours.
Yes.
Then it became 24 hours within 48 hours.
Yeah.
But now most of the airlines have moved that to 24 hours, provided you're booking a week in advance, 7 full days. The exceptions here are Delta and Alaska. Alaska says as long as it's more than 24 hours from departure, they'll give you that 24-hour rule. Delta hasn't changed their policy. Everybody else got this 7-day window. And here's why this matters.
I was going to say, and this matters why?
Well, I'll tell you. You book a flight. I did this a couple of weeks ago. I needed to go from Los Angeles to Phoenix, but I booked Phoenix to Los Angeles. I caught the mistake.
I was going to say, why did you do that?
It was a mistake.
Okay.
I caught the mistake a couple of hours later, but was less than 7 days out. So I could change the flight, but I couldn't cancel it and rebook it. Why does that matter? It was $47 cheaper to fly L.A. to Phoenix than Phoenix to L.A. So instead of getting that $47 back in my pocket, I have a credit at that airline. And I think everybody knows you're not going to find a $47 flight right now.
No.
So in order to unlock my $47, I'll have to spend more by booking another ticket. So I can make the change, but I don't get the money back.
But it's going to cost you. JetBlue announced recently that it's adding first class, which surprised me because don't they always have first class? And many airlines are changing the different categories on the plane.
So, yeah, so JetBlue has their Mint product, which is this lie-flat sort of international first class that's on select routes. They are noticing that there's a huge market for premium travel, so they're adding a more traditional first class seat to many more of their airplanes. So the flights that don't have the lie-flat, that aren't long enough to justify that, will get this first class. But in rolling this out, they've done something that a lot of the other airlines are doing where it's not just, you know, economy, premium economy and business, it becomes basic economy. And now there's basic premium economy and basic business class. JetBlue's the latest to sort of unbundle these things. And the airlines say it gives you more options to buy exactly what you want. But anytime the word basic comes up, I don't care if you're putting premium after it, you are buying a restricted ticket that comes with less than you would have otherwise gotten. Why are the airlines doing this? Well, sure, it's about choice, but it also makes travel more expensive.
Yeah, it also allows
them to
raise different prices.
Exactly.
And then I was reading something about a juice shortage. What does that mean?
Yeah, so several airlines that use Minute Maid juices have suddenly they're feeling the squeeze because of a supply chain issue with Minute Maid. They have limited supplies of like apple juice, orange juice, cranberry juice. So you may find as you hop on a flight, some of the juices aren't there. Now, we understand it is starting to resolve itself, but several airlines have said they've got a tight supply. They're feeling the squeeze, if you will.
So I got the squeeze. I had Minute Maid lemonade the other day on a plane. It was delicious. Thank you, Kris. Always good to have you in the studio. Always.